Welcome, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by. This time I'm coming your way to review a movie that I just saw for the very first time. It being, well, luckily it's kind of more or less towards the end of winter, still in Minnesota, but we recently got dumped on with snow, and winter just, as often can be the case in Minnesota, winter just doesn't want to let go and acquiesce to spring or whatever, and I found myself flipping through Prime, and I actually ended up finding this title, which looked interesting, never having seen it before, but as I'll get into in the review, I kind of have seen it before, stopping on by this time to review the motion picture from 1971 by the name of Fright. It's a pretty scary title. So this movie was released in 1971. It's like a British UK production starring none other than, featuring none other than Pussy Galore, Honor Blackman from the James Bond film Goldfinger. She's one of the main stars in this movie, and as I said, formerly portrayed Pussy Galore nearly a decade before her appearance in this film. All I've probably really seen her in is Goldfinger and now this film, but even nearly a decade later, she's still aging pretty well in 1970 or 1971. Honor Blackman, and the main star actress of this film is Susan George, and I'm familiar with her from maybe more late 70s, early 80s films. I think maybe the only other movie that or the only movie I might own with her in it is Enter the Ninja. Of course, she's probably, I don't know how old she'd be in that, like early 30s or something, late 20s, early 30s, or mid 30s in Enter the Ninja. Not exactly sure, but Susan George has always been, whenever I've seen her, been relatively attractive, and this is really, really fun because she's so much younger in this movie, of course, playing a college student, I think, babysitter. So this movie has a relatively limited cast, which is fine. It's just got Honor Blackman and her husband and some other guy, and then some other guy, and another guy who's kind of the guy who wants to get in Susan George's pants, or she's not wearing pants. She's wearing some kind of hippies, 70s, kind of although I'm not going to complain about her outfit, maybe not the most appropriate outfit to wear when you're going to babysit a little boy or whatever. Is it a boy? It seems like the boy's got a girl's name, but anyway, yeah, I think it's a boy she's coming to babysit. But what's interesting about this movie is, of course, way back in, I don't know if it was 2009 or 2010, when it was still relatively new, I did see the Ty West film House of the Devil. And there's a review on this channel of that film and stuff. And honestly, it's one I haven't seen in a long time. I really should probably go back and revisit House of the Devil. But it's very possible that Ty West got some inspiration from this movie. There's very similar basic premise to to this film as there is in we go on to be in House of the Devil. I find it very hard to believe that Ty West hadn't seen this. Of course, there's been all kinds of movies like this, like Babysitter, terrorized movies and stuff. Is this one of the first ones? Could be. I think it'd be more of a common thing in maybe the mid to late 70s or whatever. I want to say like Someone's Watching Me, or I don't know. It seems like there's all these kind of babysitter thriller movies, but this, as I said, very well might be one of the first ones. And this film has a really, really great atmosphere, and just like House of the Devil, like there's so many similarities. That's why it's kind of like Ty West probably saw this movie, and it very well might have been inspiration for House of the Devil. But the Susan George sexy chick goes out to God. I just love her outfit. As I say, it's probably not appropriate for babysitting, but it's appropriate for me. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure there's maybe you can see this movie online for free. Maybe there's still shots of her outfit online, but yeah, very kind of like high like dress skirt thing, and just whatever, stockings and her high 70s early hippie boots and stuff. But I think twice in the movie her buttons become unbuttoned, and we see this is PG, so unfortunately we don't see much other than just, this here unbuttoned and stuff in the bra or whatever. But yeah, what the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, what I was saying is very much with like House of the Devil. This house is the babysitting house is kind of out in the boonies, out in the sticks, and it's like an old house. So this movie at the beginning, I mean, maybe not just the beginning, but I think the beginning especially, before like everything is revealed and the bad guy, if you will, or the source of the terror is revealed. Like this movie is dripping with absolutely fantastic, like spooky ass, atmosphere. And I think does the whole thing take place at night? I don't remember, but she definitely arrives to the spooky old house like in the country at night, and the Honor Blackman, Pussy Galore and her husband or whatever, they got the kid to babysit, and the mom's kind of overprotective, and the mom comes across as maybe a nut. And the movie was honestly very interesting when it began, and very much with like the case with House of the Devil, I felt like that was one of my problems with that movie. Although the suspense is kind of maintained further into the film than it is in this movie. Like the House of the Devil is really great. But my problem with it is that the build-up is so strong. Like the reveal can never really. This is what I said about the movie back when me and Matt reviewed it in 2010 or whenever the hell we reviewed it, or we wouldn't have reviewed it in 2010 because the channel wasn't. When the hell did we start the channel? 2011. Whenever the hell we reviewed the movie, we might have reviewed it in 2011. I'm not exactly sure at this point, but whenever we reviewed it, pretty much my only problem with House of the Devil was, the tension and the suspense and stuff. It builds up so so wonderfully, and it's like you can't really live up to the great tension or whatever that is built up. And this movie's the same, although for me it falls apart a lot quicker. I'm not going to spoil what the source of the terror is, just in case you haven't seen it. But I will say it's revealed much sooner, and I think you spend maybe half of the movie after the reveal just like dealing with this source of the terror. And honestly, it gets tiresome pretty quick, and the movie's not even 90 minutes long, and it felt like it was 2 hours, unfortunately. So for me, maybe the first third of this movie is really great. Obviously, Susan George, very easy to look at. This really, really spooky house, really, really great, like camera angles, lighting, cinematography and stuff. I can't remember I guess that kind of maybe says a little something. I can't remember if this movie had memorable music. If I can't remember memorable music, then perhaps that's my answer. But it definitely had just really, really great atmosphere, and Susan George, very easy to look at, especially in the outfit she wears. And it is funny when the kind of, I don't know if you call her boyfriend, just a guy, we'll just say guy friend arrives, and he's just trying to, do what the guys try to do, and that whole bit is interesting. And honestly, I could have watched a little more of the kind of play between this guy who wants to get in her, whatever the hell you want to call it, inside of her, and more interplay with those two would have been fun, and maybe less of the source of the terror, the fright or whatever. But I guess that's pretty much all I can say without spoiling a lot of it. It is interesting to see like that when Honor Blackman and this, I guess, husband guy or whatever go to this posh restaurant or whatever, and it is funny to see that street they park on, and all the other cars are like, it's a really narrow street, and all the other cars are like parked on the curb, and they just kind of park on the street, and it's like, well, so much for anyone wanting to get past, get through this road now. It was really interesting seeing like that, UK street or whatever the hell it is that this fancy schmancy restaurant is on. But possibly the first, I can't remember exactly. Definitely the first third of it is pretty good. Maybe the first half, but then second half for me, as often is the case with a movie that's got a really strong, first half or whatever. Second half, unfortunately, kind of falls apart, and you kind of get sick of the, like I say, the source of the terror in this movie as the second half wears on, and I just found myself going, Jesus, this ain't even 90 minutes long and it feels 2 hours. So what would my star rating for Fright be? I guess I can go, it's really a shame when a movie starts so strong and then just kind of falls apart, in my opinion. I guess I can go 2.5 stars out of 4 stars for Fright, even though it might fall apart in the second half. It's not all that awful, and the first half being so strong, I guess I can go that high on the star rating for Fright. The first half, honestly, I was like, God, I hope this is on Blu-ray, because I'm totally going to buy this. But then by the time it ended, I was like, oh my God, what a bunch of, or at least the last, half of it or whatever. But it's a shame that it kind of turned into what it turned into, because I really, really enjoyed the first half. But I can't stress how sexy Susan George is in this movie. And like I say, even at her, advancing on in age, Honor Blackman even still, I don't know how old she would have been in this movie, but maybe, yeah, it's hard to say. It doesn't really matter. But even Honor Blackman is relatively striking in this movie. But Susan George, man, oh my God, yeah. Hopefully this movie's online for free to watch, or at least go look at some pictures of Susan George's outfit from this movie. You'll be delighted. But yeah, in closing, it would have, thinking back to when that guy friend of Susan George's character came a-calling, it would have been nice if there could have been a little more just, goings on with them and him trying to get at her and all this kind of stuff, but alas, there isn't. So guess that pretty much does it for my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, we'll catch you on the next video.